Alright, ebusua mo bibia kwaba na me from Bramega TV and platform we eso. Yankopon enhyirhyira obibia ene abribia mo supporter odi mai ewe yam platform we eso. Abusua ensem ekoso na ewe say itimi edi besomwo. MPP amanyuku no bleedi. In fact, they are bleeding and odwe ho a wonti ase. And do you know what? Say no. Omo pese omo fa kwan bia so na omo ye propaganda. But ade ne say Ghana for say yeyi mu afra agro ni mu. Enti anything about you bia no yempati mun keep no shut. Mun kama no pado isan say oman no na nka mu betimi bua nka we gave you solid 8 good years day. Anye ni se nka modi Ghana eye retrogression modi Ghana ko mochi more than 10 years. Na honorable bia oye former MP ewo Manhyia North. Honorable Collins Owusu Amankwa edin simbi atudwa. Ankane no no oye de member of parliament edima Manhyia North se de bidi kankan no. Na owura we utie nkoma odi a na to say in fact almost set a trap edi ama yewura John Mahama yem president any NDC for set trap no mutomu a they are going to be what dealt with. And wakan sembi edi afa journalist ho ayemi bedwin wa menti asiu se sankofo we omko opposition manti nyambai, but how they have started talking no ombeka sabre opposition papa mempese mbeka se bibiri yenko na yenko ti sankobodidi no one Kwame Amo o ewo OKFM yemfa credit no momo ena mudi sa enkoboyi yenti mbra yekoba quick one bidina kaina ebeto aso ewo yem platform we eso nyakopon enkoso a enhyihira obibia
mayoko bi mu nipa waka no tra one evidence bi ama obi am police data bia for NPP headquarters enka se papa na wo allege say you can't be member, and indeed we can't be member. So why do you do that? What do you seek to gain? Oh, it is an yama we no ye niema wa me am ye ko ye ni no ye ni kwanse so eni kwanse so na me mfa bibi kakra en ko oboase me hu se Ghana Web any other portals not the story there me can say we will resist any attempt to close down Anglo Gold and as operations of Anglo Gold. Yes, me can say them no. Na me contribute Kokroko morning show. And I make sure mu say sabi enipa moja na egu fomu. Enye krama moja. Enipa moja na ehwe egu. Enipa moja ehwe egu no. Eye NDC former pa. Sabi omo ye Ghana for. Enunti yentimi nyedi emma saadie we ebi nsan kosi bio. E wo say isi ano kwan. Efutu bi e wo say edema bi e wo say edema. Etiampa. Mitu mini apanyini Captain Smartphone. Say. Sabi, yesi sinti bia ne beba nanso de nam ne so onue. Say oka asem no ene. Ana oka asem no last year. Asem no enfra mana boni die akofa oweni ni owo chenchirenche we aba no die. Obiantimi ontimi nyuhu mfrim. The only thing is say Obaba Bontini to render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians. So oh no cre me can same be and same na me cano man can ye another me come and trato where those cutting way be jo anwofe. What you say? O man chichiri ni chichiri o. O man no ye ma nyina. Enti se ekoba se agents of socialization like media are from where I sit, Kwame. When you move from where you move, there's a chroma. Baby, hey, me tikesi say me nimpenifobia. Almost tikesi command over tree language. Tikesi way deep when it comes to linguistics. And into almost penasem. Kwame, any probably pewasemu. Any pewasem. Said you will see my program not yet there. Eti uka sembia bia unita go na odibat obi ono no ye oro model no kwame wo ye oro model no wafa so eti say wo sorry and centroni na bi ofifire ti wo de ta wa gu ko won ti say bia wo choba na wadin ya o say ta de wo ye no microphone ti ewu microphone ti obi kura de obeka bia to ja kwase ne ma me kura obetu because wo na ode wa ye hwe so enunti media no so wasudie as one of the agents of socialization. And what say and no na serve as catalyst for change in our society. Na se ko say the media no be mo ko butu echire na because of their selfish gain, because of bitterness, because of hatred. Na say ejuma says omo the platform no je no omo edane no a na oman no omo bono elsewhere amaya ene aye war torn countries no do na no the issue came from media tenchro ni bia semba akoko kan ye e wa Rwanda e na Hutis ene Tutsis en tokwa se nyanyame e no moti omo ho ase se omo nyina ye abrewa ba ko ye ma ene Kigali aye krabeshe ubi apese woko said the omu ya because there can be peace without development. And was said this a boku die boku until say ye no mampusi ni kusati for no be unu won say omu nyina ye nipa baako. The new mistake say nyame do omo ko dua ho no na se omo say da bia ebeya aperi ye nti ye ho ase ampa ye ne di kan ba ye ti wa ba fa ni die ma yen ye njiwu hini ntum yesu ye njiwu hini ntum no mo ti wo ho ase a it will save Ghana from spending millions of cedis on needless conflict no over the years unisa e ka ya bo no obokun I mean, when you can't have a book, I say sometimes, Nkonya ni alabanyo issue. Okay, Martina Masebe Martina Defense and Interior Committee must serve on a Central Anti-Tender Committee of National Security since 2018 to 2024. Wame, Minimia Meka. Sanya mawi no. Obi ya na uti echira na bi mu so because omo new ramifications any consequences ewo na se minia timika se o munko di komo demo nti woni pa na ono no se bi ope captain asem no se o captain akasa de na final because se bi nye obi na se bi na dwene mu otu asembia to for motimi dwene hu mi nu ade a mekwa ko yeyi anye bia no so ne say na say ne enti wonam na komode wa wo kwa wo te Bank of Ghana dining is on it no wa bowra wo ade akokojo wo de ade ya national cake no wo to kojo de o no Ghana is a country of law. Ghana is not a banana republic. We are not in lawless state. Na obi ababa from Russia in some.
But honorable,
ama akofe owene sei ediaba. Enti na adwebrel. Honorable, no correct. Me say we're going to resist any attempt from this NDC government. Because of what is 30 2 ni gold. Days back 1897. No my ma 2016 NDC. Ebe fra bemu 2017 na omo gu oboase mines. Omo gunu top.
Honorable
Ama MPP abai picture ebiesi ho.
Honorable de
and then omo kokwa sana e kwa ho dia. Trust to me. Hey, la. What do you about the besi?
Yeah. Now, Bano, Captain dear year, Obi baby says, if say, as some now occur in a movie doing in a mabontino, say, and yet, Enra, as some no can, and yet last year, as some nanya this year. How can we substantiate, say, Emrantiano, and Amona womu two, because of the Okan, owing to the fact, say. This is not the first time you say Emrantiano ako baby sama assembly say here. Sabrano, now there was no video of Captain Smart.
I'm not holding brief for anyone on this matter. Nothing. Assemno. So I am feeling you know what you. Why am I call ye? Omo call ye no ye ama you ko bi mu nipa. Omo ye NDC 14 years.
Oh sir.
Yes. Omo nyina ye NDC 4. Omo nyina. Omo mafiri mu nyina nipa nkron. Omo nyina sa ye NDC 4. Omo we prepare no so sa ye NDC 4. Omo ne call house na ju desu no. Na di enti no omo call ye. Omo tie nsem bia na ti se de ye ken ebi a captain kansem no bi nikranya captain kwan kan obi so ka bi enti no odi ahye ni team say da ben na regime change beba kema ban ya badia ene e wo say ye bopino and no na kofo we ne baaye. So the issue of say last year ni see e immaterial. Any attempt to justify her unjustifiable statement we know will provoke the system, let me tell you. If you omunya to buy the cra. Na opacho titi and yanko your name. Aya chopa amobre titia oh where dey say e ye mbre bi kra me kan ye no meseremo. Enya akwa kofa me so dia tintu dia no be ba de na me so ni ti we dey me a captain me bie me ho eno nti no mo fa nche me we esi anaze pai. We issue. Now then we move on. What you say? Obi anyway yen the desert you be cassette obi. I know Captain Gosbrain. Captain Smart. When na ya juma and central juma before the captain ebeba will take FM. Me na me so nya na me kasa radio so a social commentator. And MPP. Panyi ba ko your former regional chairman. Ne me kasa se debi. Collins. Ye microphone gitum say Diana wo sympathy for your party ne so. Nti no adena wonhye mu yie. Yes. And I'm a Koshimo. I've communicated for MPP for more than 25 years. And you're NPP. Late 90s now, 4th FM Yojmenya na your free radio. Share yadwene. Enunti say meaning captain early 2000. And then I hear Juma Bebre. But in fact, there was a former platform at that time I was director of operations. I'm in Ono 2009. Enti minti me mabontene emenyunu se na se mabenti. Na emomu no ni yiye mu na me se me pe ni yiye ni nti. E na me ka se enka on the on pass am na wo chewo. Na akoma mrafom. O de wo di ona ye se wo justify ya. Na e krono na se bi u biem. Because who justify anything? Almost so when said that time, maybe your mama in your Omajini Muno, I no far no. Omunim say aban be ko AGC no ACO. AG ni ACO. Na what some now they took inspiration from, but no more echo demonstrating at that time enye. It's almost ya aban sisan ye ba ye no. Less than a year no musi when yenko. Yes ya ba. So for you side. But ya ne say hey muti form 4 no ma be go. Say catch mon komochi. Problem na me ni soldier for no bi wo any say. Omo anukre no mo surrender ye. Ebu kotodwe. Mpo anase kan ni anase pompassion na ye hunu ye ni bi ikra o mom de to ho no de. No so almost spare their life. Oh dear. Because eye me da na mbo aye mi ya papa o kakra no. Because sebi wo kokun kra na se. Ya fa do mumu a. O surrender there any ye becho as war prisoner. Say yenkun ana yekun menia.
Dabi.
Yenkun.
Empo dia o dwa no kra no. Yen shooting from behind.
Exactly. Oh. If you want to say no sebi entwe ye. If you want to no Ghana Armed Forces. Omo ho kakra no. Omo so mpa ho so chew. What you say? Na NDC amayoku ne so. Omuntu omo titafo no. Omo mo futu papa. Like MPP ni no mo futu bone dodo. No eyade a emboa. Omuntu onfu. Mu se emra e wo man nim, ya de man ye adwuma. Ke na se aban sesa ye ba ye. Ade bi a ya condemn ni mre bi ye nim se democracy is growing. Ne say nti ni kwan se ntem bi wo a Kwame Amota be die from esaka ho asem bio bibi to say vandalism I cost yes easy way to extend that after the move from a year public agencies or entities to private entities. Kedi omukoye biwo ada Electrochem Ghana Company Limited, Salt Mining Company wada. What is a home fidye? Exercise channel worth millions of dollars. Now, besides the entity no more. AKG, a year security, or any other stuff. What is that? Now, member of parliament, near Bar Comfort do you, Ganza. Now, so Sanyama was also Shebi Mukutupa. Obi etimiatiti ni mo remu djuma ko bia pege djuma kese a ebeboa ma mebunu omo area ho dodo na akra asate anya bi ye aloto eya short pan ediama local people wo nsa eko wo ano no odi amayo sem tantantan ebe collapse se djuma no now we are wasa turning around to blame the system now be dey nya djuma. Because to create jobs for the young people in this country, you think it's the sole responsibility of government? No. It's a collective responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. In fact, we need to encourage private sector to do more. No much because I'm not that one. I can't say. And say, Jumano. Bonnie no didi. Enonti eye na ya sudi se ye chichiri oman men say no men kasa bebre because John Mahama early days yet me tutu wagufu nyama be mi ensabi but early days yet enonti wame maybe e wo hihye na ban ni wi o hihye na ban ni wi a me pie ni ja papa okromo a
until then
not the almost fan to much. The be one job because make I do a cry a bad program. May I mean when this is 40 make more ya bema memuno afnomo. amemu no so be ma na fono yen na mja say ntemo e de beto mo so na mde da bi en kasasa mo fa ntemo a e bia ya enye ye nokre emumu tuye so o mo ti hwe nokre na nkrofo be di okromu a o mo keka ni nyina kwa me ne nkrofo na be power no but ye de ye nkọ no si be di tro but e jadie be bi o mu bi nyame ma ye nkwane ahoden be bie wo mu ja papa mo mo say amemu no o ma be so mu no it's not a joke and it's a serious business and we can assure them say so ma yo ma dwene say ye be ye kokwasa ma wo mo aye ne ma troka agrobi no mu di ora mahama o ye inaugural speech kredie na wo ye sojani ono military coup leader or military coup leaders what on safre wo mo no who yilo jaji wo mo ebo won abaso entertain you to extend say wo the captain Ibrahim Traore e call ni fie the private resident me say minya ko miensa 2 from Mali 1 from Burkina Faso because omo ye menafofo ebi mo so ye nkrofo because of them na kotna ECOWAS parliament for many years into ni pani be pray come they were not enthused with our president say Mr. President yen Malians ye kotu about say the Ghana for kotu aba yi wu no now so the near fatu aba yi sa ban no democratically elected president no every ho through illegal means na o de ani gie fronko bo wa abaso wani bo wa abaso na de wo ye no unim se we can wrap of the people one more so ewo ebibremu ha it is to sub-Sahara ha because any obiana na ni eje soja ni na wa baba be fa o man ni disu sesia no ebi mu di yaw ya pamo krofo bebre free wo nyumem because soja ni afatuo ehwe o man ni so krofo se demu su omo nia no bebre ye Ghana fo etino oye o man panyini e wata wo hwe se even based on the existing ECOWAS protocol no when it comes to diplomatic security and then the kafa ho what you say I don't care about that entry diplomacy in this no. All that I care Ghana as a country when it comes to our foreign policy we are not aligned. Ghana Sebi ebeno kwame ye kan say yenim yanu yenti ye kwa ne yeso ye kura nya
yenu yanu mienti ye kwa ne yeso ye kura
ye kwa ne yeso ye kura etino yenu yeti hono in the scheme of world politics your foreign policy are not aligned ye di ye ku ye dwene ye ho na wakwa ko gina o mampanyina yato aba ma John Mahama na na America for na UK France Britain okay wo mu GDP nya ba mu kofom na wo kufa wo Russia wo hwe South Africa wo hwe ayi wan wo bo nkro bo China wo bo de bo minim to bo nkro ya wo wo mo na wo de no so wo pese wo ne BRICS ekokoye aduma so be it America, rough of America for them, UK for them. Remember, I know my own. I'm a penny Mahama. Yes, sir. It is said the American audience is a by any way. Now, Betty and Kawo Krumwa.
Honorable, I know Medasi.
Miss Medasi.
Yani, Honorable Collins Owusu Amankwa, Ankane, mention of him, Rasebejani, and a Chichin Komoi, a cat smaba Konanunduabo, a minute to the top of the hour 10. Live on OK 101.7 FM. Adiechi biasone. Na sese de ebre ekonenim. Ebre ekonenim nso so na ne mesesa. Me kai pa me sister Magi. Adwa Magi.
So utie nsema owura ne ka you can directly know say these are the people they are looking for the downfall of this government. And of course, any new because every opposition biano, if every opposition be say your party, say your denyo, opponent be an on show well. That is the main thing. Or your antagonist. What you say, always the person is what looking for something to criticize. And in any problem, but you will cromano. So far as you move in your hand, MPP phone to me propaganda be. MPP phone to me can't chase a mo. Adia mu yusu media ne de ye ene enyansi ye kra ma hyase na mo kasa Captain Smart ensem o kan 2023 a ene omudi gusu a omudi ye propaganda inoboase de esiye. That must tell you say these people no. Can you tell me say mo ko opposition na sebi mo adwe ye adwuma na sebi ebu sebi nyado oti aban mu dia ye kasa wonte MPP for muti aban mu ana ye ka che mu say mo how you people you communicate mo nkrofo call radio so a mo kasa e de kire Ghana for no. In fact it tells a lot. It tells a lot. Na e basa na sebi oman no e na mo bo no ye kan sem bebre e de kire mo. Ye kan sem bebre MPP for de mu ye sebi da chi bi no ubebu ho akonta ye kan ene wa ko position enti mo pa che se munim de ye okay enti na che se mo aban mu munim de na ye ene na mo nyama Ghana for muntie me pa cho very simple to say MPP for what is o mo kasa bebra anye se sebi oman no ene o mo peso mo beso no na mo sikadie na no mo peso beto aso no mudi because se omo kan simbu opposition na yemisa se omo pen so no brand NDC for kan mutie ya na bibisa omo pen so no brand NDC for kan omutie ye NDC for ka se kino furata Ghana economy no omutie ye na nado otie ya na in his own time no, in his own comfortable time no. That was I think a year it was it 7th or something 6th or 7th March last year and sir reshuffle na Ghana for even MPP for omankasa omu MPs anomo eyode for no enti se ne mutimi kasa na mo criticize na mo kire se o NDC fo nyese omu nyese ya na ye mwanwa na omu ho ye mwanwa papa senti njabujan fo sana muni we nyina na mo atena se na mo yi moni ana mo se o man no even obi kasa na mudi neki no ene president John Mahama say media o we CSO we peace council we Muslim community we non-governmental agency we private sector we hwanyu we Ghana ni o nya Ghana ni o ti make criticize na aban pacho mi bisamo yewra Akufo-Addo ano ye president no otimi kan we nyina na ontimi enti na obi criticize na okochena radio so a no de ni sabi nkum eyeden edidi na tem eka kasatwie Uteka FM ohini bi o se wasi na yi afede togo afede wasi Mahama si e-blog awu Akufo-Addo oba wo so to aso no munye bi kola ni bi ku school se o ma wotumetu wantimi ambe ya obebia man kwada kotirem Akufo-Addo tino Uteka FM eka nsem edini sabi nkum ayiye de o so yi na. This is the kind of president that we had. And this is the kind of president that we are having. John Mahama is far and far humble than Akufo-Addo. And I don't expect you MPP by this time to come out and speak anything. Mon kasa because mu delay mo time. They are growing babu fi na mu dimirika asore ebisiano. Adi mu Ghana haya na MPP for muti. NDC for bebu omai. Enti munya wotre na mo hwe de ekoso. Kasa dodo no entoponko. Munim kasa na mokwa mu kasa no eko akira nka kampanya mo yeye sisifia musa na okurum hina no Can you say 41 or something like that and in this election. So young corner in Ivan Che Innocent or a political analyst or an argument. Anytime I hear his voice, he's a very brilliant young man, an intelligent young politician and a political commentator. Anytime I hear from him, and I say anytime I hear him speaking, I become so, so lucky, say, because I learn a lot from him. Yonkoti is answering with Fabra. Akufado, a year at John Mahama, meaning the Jamaica Akufado, Minyan Fin, so because Akufado Mefina, maybe a Mahama, yo, many, ne Cassie Akufado and Kawasena Pato. A bompai se Mahama ebeyena ya fe Akufado kakra na bibia koso, but we don't want to remember Akufado in the way se Mahama so ebeye ni oye ni bi no and the Yankupon Pango. Yanko na Yankoti Ivan Che Innocent Brown ni Dr. Rain Asia ewo program ni so Yankoti sa yehufe video no enfabra efanim yewa John Mahama ni minister sa omo veti omo ene omo etimi afom nso no yinti sa
vetting of ministers a ombeboa omampanyini John Mahama
Yeah, Dr. Ren, the come mention what's here for. So far so good. Appointment vetting. So there mark or other platforms, to me, and big issues mame. Because you see, a Jumano Neyano, that is where I am looking at. And the processes leading to that particular way, some are statutory. Your normal routine, you go through just for confirmation because the constitution, a cancer. And I think over the years, we've seen us running through some of these routine leading up to the confirmation of ministers' appointment. And the process so far, I think there is nothing much I bet me I can't want them because appearing before the committee, answers to questions and answer for normally you do not guarantee your success at the ministry or not. And we are talking about individuals. This is not the first time they are going to be in government. These are people, most of them have been in government before, then as a forum. So, Dr. Ren, said the last, the rules of engagement, politics, everything going forward, and your business as usual. Expectation is very huge, considering Kwanya Ghana far so much to back. So, my only hope is say these appointees, will deliver on the mandate and satisfy the expectations and assurances are Ghana for our process in the winning. Sometimes some of the trivialities are and one cause marking, just trying to play the usual political cast just for people to feel so I was here sometimes some of the questions defy common sense. And for instance, so where for close to 1 hour. Now, your friends say heated engagements, course back and forth, Now, vetting and Kasakran to minister here. They were dabbling in issues related to the mandates that has been given to the vetting committee or the appointment committee, bringing on trivial issues. The chairman and the deputy chairman, and as for rocking back and forth. At some point in time, they had to. Break it off just for further consultation behind the scenes, and so I'm coming back still that particular issue. You see, some of these shit Ghana for are not interested. When you sit at parliament, by your colleagues, sometimes there are certain things you feel comfortable doing because we know ourselves, especially we know bit na class cha. You see, you form that bond, and there are certain trivial engagement.
Who say familiarities be na eba?
Yeah, those familiarities, create this kind of trivial output. engagement in some confrontations be or clearly and necessary, especially this time, considering the exigency of time. Never be a agency here, Charlie. Kind of one year, bro. I'm saying, I'm a appointment. I President Mahama ba appointing nipa. I nipa no beko vetting committee. They will be approved. Me those things, you know, say are routine. I don't pay much attention to these things. The raw deal, you know, will start when these people kickstart the various engagements now constitutionally near their mom. Yes, hoping say they will deliver. That is the crux of the matter. But all these trivialities running up to me, I don't pay much attention to them because hardly nobody who say an appointee, you know, the nomination will be rejected by an appointment committee. Last 4 years at Kroma, and Nipa more corner. Now they had a lot of red flags. Kendo Foriata, several other individuals. There was this public disenchantment out there. Let's drop them. Yeah, nobody knows what happened. They passed them. So it's quite unusual to have some of this appointment committee come into a conclusion, say, yeah, rejected will be appointment. It doesn't happen, especially in our part of the world. But I want to see say Juma no mandate na ahotoswa Ghana for the President Mahama no ono so nya agidie edema these individuals no enkonkwa turn out to be ahomaso kind of me munipa sa kasafine sa niama na eseya egu akufo ado aban no that thing no enisi ye behu bi na yentimi ma this appointment no engender hope engender confidence inspire man for say indeed we have really ushered ourselves into a new realm of governance, a new realm of politics here in Ghana. And aim no edge towards looking after the larger interest of the country, the welfare of the people, and the larger aspirations of Ghanaians, you know, will be safeguarded and will be guaranteed. Ghana for so in that will invest trust, they will invest confidence, they will invest their support. In this whole governance structure, na yenyina no yenya de yepe because enya da bia na ba betena ba ye NDC MPP na ye drag ye back and forth. At the end of the day, no, we are making no gains, we are making no progress. It's just back and forth. We sign, no, we can't continue to do that politics. So I think this is the time for us to just realize Ghana for 1 year be in terms of politics, and they are not interested in those emotional charge, partisan, activism, that kind of emotional crusade, you know. Ghana for want the job to be done. And I think people sitting at the committee and other people should just realize this. Now you move on. And I like the shift where President Mahama had an appointment because Omeki promised to appoint 60 ministers. And I think that he's in line to deliver. And barely 2 weeks in here, they say almost about 70% of his ministers, you know, Watimi Mudin aka deputies in Kwan, they say among for a train. The shift nature or the yes had near my way together with some executive decisions are what take the authority in the tone, the clarity of thought, the unambiguity a cloud of some of the judgments are all making as if not clearly say and he knows where he's going. I just hope it continues like this, and then we get the results that we are looking for.
Ivan, I mean, one make key point to be about say enkonkoye as usual. Say ya nominate womo, ya vet womo na eja wombebano na afedie the work na nkasanga say the ma womo no womu ntimi me show the quality of appointees no me say omunya nhye womo adwuma ase but do you think say any dodo one to the bia na manfo ka bu wa bebe hu na eja near fix friend is saying round hole near the pegs square near the shishimu na enkoye na enyeyi mami musa o so far list about bontini would you say there is any particular name bia na won expect say say din we there Mr. say bia enkenye say kan
I think this time round, no, he has been tactically exceptional, and rather that is what I told Abeku Santana when he asked me the same question. Because Dr. Ren, as I heard the first 3 ministerial appointment of President Mahama make yana you and I will admit to the fact that these three sectors, and they're the most crucial considering the stage we find ourselves in. Because so we had the state of the economy, maybe agents the energy, the looming energy crisis, and to take some of the executive critical decisions that go into this ministry, you need advice of the Attorney General. So in a quick way, to be able to set up these three ministries in the first place, he's being strategic. Because energy, the crisis, Abra Akufo-Addo Aircore, the looming doomsaw, then the energy sector crisis, and as for any financial turnaround to be come from the finance ministry, then you need the advice of the AG when it comes to some of the critical decisions that the president will be making, and as for and the individuals he appointed, personally, I am not somebody I celebrate credentials, need those kind of stuff until say nipa na juma obeye. But over the years, I can tell you, say one person why at the forefront, one leading economic discussion in this country has to do with Atofosson. And on in Chiremu, ne Kasa, ne Nema, or demonstrated clearly said this is somebody or Tenema say when it comes to the economy, and as forth. But you see, Kasa is different from delivering. And if I'm to look at his public weighing in somehow his understanding into issues of finance, it got to a point in time he was the first person to predict say Akufo-Addo people will suffer head cut. Our President Akufo-Addo said no head cut. The analysis that he did, at the end of the day, that head cut came, and he has delved deeper into this economic crisis. What for solution and as forth. So I think if you look at the surface of it, he's an ideal candidate to be able to. But you see, being an ideal candidate and be the man being able to do the job, when you're given the mandate, they are two distant things altogether. Let us not get it twisted. But I only hope, and I know, he will be able to deliver. But much of it will come from him, because he's going to the ministry. We know the messy state Ghana economy womb. I think vetting committee, he prefers some solutions in a certain alternative all free or employer, especially when it comes to city stabilization, how energy sector, prices of crude in as for no be to be a fashion and certain backing, because it will control the dollar fluctuations now. Trust me, there are a lot of stability which may achieve at the economic front. And I think he's one person you can count on when it comes to some of these. And Abu Jinapo is one person also at the energy sector, same as Atofosson, Walidi. And the two of them have been deputy ministers in their respective ministry before. Abu Jinapo cried at some point in time when Donko Kwabena Donko resigned because of the promise that he made, or say went to be delivered. He became a substantive minister at some point in time. So, and in the last 8 years, somebody at the ministry, also demonstrated certain weight, knowledge, and as if why very extensive. I'm free say, I don't know, convincing President Mahama to give him this particular job. And on the surface of it, I hope he can also deliver. One appointment, and I'm so much impressed, the Attorney General. Dr. Anyi, because if Amanfo Shadam pay attention to him, he's not a loud person. He's not unusual, your friend is saying partisan, your friend is saying driven person. Or you'll be a third now or no, onim the oye, and or you'll be a ubihunu usual political mantra and as a form of odi. So to have such person an Attorney General, no clearly a say. Or my advice, now we are president, now taking it serious. It will take you far, because his views are not often influenced by this partisan stance in as a forum. And he's not somebody you can drive him to do witch hunting. For him to take a case or prosecute, now we need the merits and the other side of it. So, or take a case now, say, over the years, Eddie has to do with attorney generals who become, your friend is saying, more or less like Goro boys of the president. They are working to satisfy these larger political aspirations of political parties. Oh, more disikamunjeli or more such sentiments will come. But you need somebody at our clarity of conviction on him and will take issues. Now he's looking at merit, not just the political aspect of it, because political aspect of it, so over here Abranti or call now there cases no fire no do not drop here, especially or they are to forcing case because the motive na you politically you can say intensive, and such cases you will crash because the evidential value a bit more credence to go ahead with some of this prosecution. You get to the middle of it and you realize that you don't have it, but you took the case because of certain political sentiment being expressed out there and then as a forum. So I think with Dr. Ayi, with that clarity of thought and with the in-depth legal knowledge at the law school, I think there are a lot of people watch from one there. He understands some of these things. On the side knowledge, back to this department, I'm sure Ghana will benefit immensely and several other appointments. So Dr. Ryan, the good thing is that so far individuals in now do musiwa. Obesia ubenyo obia credentials abetima tauteno. But these things are different from delivering on the job. But as to whether they will deliver or not, as Ghanaians are folding their arms, we are yet to see. Consider the cultural expectations are quite high. And these individuals cannot afford to fail the president. Same way the president cannot afford to fail Ghanaians. So, a sworn duty on you as an appointee, as a minister, to do things right and just. Sebaya obey to satisfy the why a president appointee no so be in return be to satisfy Ghanaians. So I think there is a big task going forward that if they realize this and they don't drop in the way, very often people get filled with arrogance of power and then as a foreign they get lost in the middle of power and then as a foreign. I think we can go. Yes, so for appointment, the president has been given mandate to appoint people. As to whether you disagree or not, he has the power. But you see, at this early stage, preempting might sound a bit weird because he's appointing them. Nobody has taken charge, and I think in a month or two, or maybe after 6 months, or maybe 1 year into the conduct these people exhibit at the various offices, I think they're in the better as to whether they qualify, they can do, or they cannot. And I think at that point, also give the president the reason either to do reshuffle and answer for them. At this point, a make or break. Yeah, more appointments, and you can go to church, celebrate, palm white, aqua DNA, that kind of way, But it is also going to be an assessment phase for you. The early stage, you can be dropped. And so what drop it at the early stage, you can know, your political career and they are no. So I hope, these people will be able to discharge this responsibility that has been conferred on them, imposed on them by the president, and has been conferred, in constitution also given that particular power to do so. No, or me, I know Mungu na Ghana and ebe wene at the end of the day.
Yo, na mame embusao wakasa we yatete say PP for the nam say President John Mahama person set up a friend is Haruna Idrisu adenya odnakoto Ministry of Education. I don't know. Say no, a setup. I don't know. And our Ministry of Education, maybe your manga no man to turn your may into no more kasa.
So that is the question. As Obisa said, and na po almost set na up and answer almost set a dupim up. I don't know. Idea what education ministry are set up. You see, Haruna Idrisu is somebody who has been around for a very long time. And this is a guy who had the CV or depth when it comes to knowledge. And then I say for them. And the mere fact Uncle Education Ministry panel doesn't mean say own to me yet. And I wonder why you may do arguments and doubts as to whether he can perform well or not. That's why I know we all have the right to do so. But to say he has been sacked up, then that you need to justify why he has been sacked up. Is it because he ought to mean deliver our education and answer saying the knowledge that is needed at the education ministry? What is that knowledge? He doesn't have it. I think that it's early, but I think it's the usual politics I hear no chrome hano. Young farmer people are wishing you fail. And I think some of these political detractors, NPP are lose badly at the polls, and they have become barely irrelevant in the scheme of political affairs in this country. The only way is to be passing some of these comments. So I think that is part of the usual politics that we do in this country, but it's not premised on any fact. They have nothing to justify. And I know, sir, when it comes to competence, Haruna Idrisu is somebody you can count on when it comes to some of these, because position ben position ben. This is a guy who has seen it all. And ministry, in education there, but there are the core job out there, are almost similar. And I think going in there at the minister doesn't mean everything at the ministry there are civil servants at the place, and even we need knowledge about the area. You can do consultation, engage them, because it's a teamwork. Governance, Dr. Ren, is a public enterprise. I'll bet me a seeking wise counsel of people out there, and then I said for them, I think there is no basis for this one. Just usual political talks na yakano. Say obi wo basis to justify why they think it's a setup. I think they should bring it up. But you see, adeba akwa yahuno kroma over the years and has to do with people are seeking to create artificial rifts between Haruna and then Mahama. And it's over quite on fast almost Haruna na. You saw what the agitation that came. Emma, some people even in the northern region stage some kind of your friend is saying demonstration, new protest, and as a forum. We are political opponent. Some of these things, you just want to harp on it just for political expediency. And I think the NPP as a smart political party, that is the kind of cast they are playing. But you see, like I told you, we've jumped over this stage in our politics. Your politics, as to me a different, your friend say, stage altogether. We are in a different pedestal, and I'm sure Ghana will not pay much attention to some of these usual trivialities that over the years, dominate politics and politicking in this country. We are moving on. We just want, Haruna Ba, now I'm performing. The president has reserved the right to pull him out or maybe reshuffle and do anything. So I'm not sure, it's a big deal. It's early to say, this person will perform or will not perform. Appointment in a view personally, no, you may wait so this person will call Hank, but I know the president has that mandate. You understand? The only reservation you can have when you watch on and see what happens, whether these people can deliver or not. Then I know that right to do reshuffle and as a for no. We'll come to that stage and we are here, Dr. Ren. We're going to do what we do best. Yes, because my culture said it is our job to protect this country. We just to ensure, we offer constructive, fair, firm, your friend is saying, criticisms, contributions, and whatever, just to ensure, we're shaping this country. And yes, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupt absolutely. We all cannot go to sleep and watch people to do. We are going to be at the doorsteps of these people on a daily basis, just trying to ensure, they stick to your friends saying a Jumanes or Moya, no, they are in line. Say, who breaking rules now, you know what it is. And I'm not sure, any of them will be, your friends say, will be happy. Say, early stage way, Nema, Nipa Bacho, Dr. Ren, Saturday politics now, Madame Funia, near me party near, who didn't say Mununa, Amanfa Babo, Swabegina radio, so a defendant, Sire, and I come. Obin couldn't in same who be metal radio soon defended. That era is long gone. Whereas our people will not take you serious. So I wish there are two Akufo-Addo appointees, the new ministers, new government, among for be free. Say there are two Akufo-Addo, then yes, Ghana for a time, Akufo-Addo metia or Majamere, or Majamempana. Your friend is saying, on me, on Yame bonnet, Mentino. But a new more by ya 1 year, and a coffee win in other buy. enti won so no a lesson to you ya so ko obi ayi ase na yadeda no no da ho na kasa no ho na ontumi nkasa. It's a lesson to the living. Say on say emre bi beba won so say ya na beto enti wo anamon bi so tutu ne ye so tutu ne ye. And I think that what happened to Akufo-Addo no, it's a big lesson to those coming. Say she be different because yeah Ghana for na yeti high any baby ako Akufo-Addo be di 8 years say Okofi na yeti high obedi Rollins be di 19 years o hwehwa na wu hu no akonwa no wuntumi mfa nko wo ya dan you live, but there is something that you can leave obiantimi papa. That is a lasting legacy, a legacy that will leave an indelible imprint on the minds of Ghanaians, not one that will leave a scar on the conscience of our democracy, just like Akufo-Addo did. What he did, no, I leave a scar, and Kroma, I leave a golden, your friends say, emblem on the conscience of our democracy. Is the reason why, and generations upon generation, you cannot say, and we are president and now we are minister, and man that particular to me now. It is an opportunity for you to display that particular genuineness. Now we need to be now also and I think it's not a big deal. It's not just about money all the time.
Ebusi August wuti Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Yene yenua Ivan Che Innocent, a social commentator. Ne ne twetwen o my Ghana ho enkomo yedi.
So that is it. It is quite obvious. MPP for we know. Omunhu di omunkan. We say na yeti kurum hapa na uhwe na popa boji se na uhwe na poti na chese enka yandwinda se na pobe monte platform na wosa owo sisi fie ni bi checking the personality ni bomianso na na asabio yesi bisi video bi me hu ye de mesere sam se we de nya editing we nya editing bo me sankasa se me okunu na di nachi na bi nom na omo wawa no na bo me asana o na etisana enkofo ye dances okrom ha na omukọ join politics ejina chese Ghana enkoyi Ghana enima nkoyi ni nyano sebi dancers na edi omoko tina political table ho ebeden ena oman na koyi iti ngofo we se sifia okuruma saa thinking say omudi be via Ghana for abi because omunje Ghana dey penum ye pasa ye entertainment omunim say ya bon say na ne ye nyambo ya adwi ye no minsa ye bodada ye ntwemburu nyon omunim say sebi Ghana for be no minsa abo enso no mo adwin da ho mbetim dia kofie ko winsan ni bi sebi dankod bi ono minsa wie otimi no minsa no ntimi sorry, but let me tell you ebo anajo no ha osore so okwa obekwa akwa kuduru ni fie boko abra wontinto itino Ghana for sana na yetie sana na omu se ni nyina na yafole amomo but ye kiro mu say no ye no mu besa ye no mu bedidi ye no mu benom but e do 7 December na ye nimmo because mine mabo mine krono maso mine so there is no room for what to tolerate your what sebi in some form it NDC for any MPP for a form of rapture. So it is loud and clear say an MPP for a bleedy pa mo bleedy e wo fie. Yes, uchi minister aye MP na okasa na uchi mu se ene aye mo ya enkomo penya enka omoda so tia bam but I know is always at last. Hu yanka so na kachi me papa de kai o si hu yanka de emedi kinda every day the piano it will be the last word or the last statement me hu yanka nti MP4 hu yanka so na kachi we ana minya kwanya me kache NDC ni John Mahama say no sade na ye ya ema Ghana for bufu ya moto aba editia MPP no mama onye sade ni bio because ya to about MPP there is no way obema MPP ni akọ obema appointment say onko ye adwuma we even when he's not MPP. Ne ɔde ne ho ne nan ne MPP for ho na ɔne ɔmo yɛ adwuma, you have to consider such person as what? As MPP man. And I am not saying say obi MPP ni no nimdeɛ na obetumi de aboɔ man na yɛnka ne nhyɛ no, but yɛmbisa yɛ ho MPP for mbetumi ayɛ a sɛ nka ɔmo yɛ o. These people nearly collapsed every sector: education sector, energy sector, financial, financial sector, industries, trading, agriculture, every sector, they nearly collapsed it. And so no more project to honor. Every sector be our education sector, FHS or agriculture, planting for food and jobs, or energy. Now, more be. You see, they nearly collapsed every sector in this country. So how can you tell me so Mahama waba now my appointment and work for Omo anti-mem manager meanwhile NDC for some of them they have the fresh ideas, they have the fresh techniques to come and execute it. Eti misremu NDC for Mamunya dia mobema Ghana for buofumo because on my way associating no sebi we have learned to know say politicians won't be abora yen kasa e betwenya edu 7 December na yo the idea meal enti so mo say mo beye de mo pe minister ndisi for kwa munye na mo sha se mo yes ade na halala yimu birum e be boss wa akopin se Ghana for 7 December 2028 e be wuro mo adwem and you will make sure you criticize you heavily and massively and what? To say you better criticize you calm and to muscle. Compare Ghana for better tiamo. Inti mamu ja dear be Ghana for both. The reasons why I Ghana for a bit me from on it. And will be frame say, Mega, be free baby. If I'm an anonymous person, baby crop, and I'm a baby campaign at the Mahama. It is a Mahama, ye be no disappointed. In fact, yes, I'm a very disappointed, and ye the Yodi. In fact, ye the Yodi baby, and here party every year. And I always say, NDC for going into 2028 election, Muni candidate. Yes, when I make a catch me see Muni candidate. You don't have presidential candidate. Don't think of say your mommy. Jean Opukwajiman, she is not yet popular. Mr. say, unya vice president, how many of Ghanaians and still now you realize and I say, you name say, your vice president, oba. How many of us, Bibisa? They be Obia doing so, your vice president, but to say so, your bano, I say, why doing ye free so kakra? Am I lying? It, she has not been popular and gained that popularity. I was say, Onya Edibe president, and then this for you people, you have a long way to go to serve this country very well and let the people of Ghana enjoy many can say many good and I say many policies that will help this country to grow, to develop. Now, mutimiyi any presidential candidate a man struggle. Muji any presidential candidate a man yede man fambro and that's a man struggle. So you have to push it. And this animal ya ma yusa mu baba abura going to 2028 election and then the MPP will laugh at you guys because you won't be able to even get another 4 years. Nti yesremu ye kan ina ne ye ka mu ye die mu Ghana ye die mutia se me metia no NDC bae obi amami sika o NDC bae minda payroll bia so mini committee bia so omo jije omo appointment he mega midi nim etin after all se me ba no na me be kan kra die ni bisi. That is why I am always honest. That is why I don't joke with my integrity when it comes to analyzing things. Enti yesremu munya ade be Ghana for ani agye na munya ade be Ghana for ekon adopati for another 4 years in ahead of us. Na munko yese mu be ya Ghana for mu ho ye mu hi from this time or NCA boss no catch them. You people should go and terminate that contract. Appointment, you should look into it again. We make sure say that NCA boss no we are not more appointed no. We be look into it because Ghanaians are not comfortable with it. Ghanaians are not okay with it. So my nyane sa na ekoto aso mpe mienu miensa enan ya na chese mu asema hyeda mo pese mo de Ghana fo adwin edi agro. And you move in to say Emasa and Emanin Koso. That's how you come out and give Ghanaians the fillers. Anyone in them Bamunim, anyone in Amo Bamunim. It muya dear Sebi Emboa, near the Filana betu Ghana for him. Say the MPP for ya with 2 Jaya, it be Joe Mutui. It muya di Bianamboa, the fillers in the Baba to Ghana for him, a Ghana for so a dear before afterwards yam. If that is what you want, you will do it. It is some mind and make sure say every promise be able make you go abide by that. Every single promise be you people you must stick to that. Now say a political talk, a political gains, a political powers, a political no. As same be make sure say you take it into consideration. And you work on it. Say be a Ghana for a Bejimodi. Now in the next elections, you give it in the minus ready. I shall say you. If you mega make sure subscribe to the channel. No like it, but there was enough for any beer. Remember me cheba for United States of America, New York, Nakupon man, papa, mamma will be even for UK, Nakupon Mamma, no baby I should get you. I salute you. Bye bye.